on the group, on the chat box. Yeah.
Welcome everyone to another session of Sustain Talk, a session with
She's not here, right?
I think she got logged out by mistake.
Oops. You wanna just talk a little bit?
Sure, I'll take it. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brand new Sustain Talk for the month of November. This is a platform where we cover inspiring stories on sustainability by interviewing changepreneurs from our own country. And today we have with us Miss Anita Deshpande. So Amita ma'am has worked extensively in the sustainable development and CSR for the past 14 years. She's an IT engineer by basic education and she went on to do her master's at Purdue University in the US. With a focus on sustainability, she worked with CSR teams of MNCs, consultancies, non-profit and community-based organizations in the US and India, and eventually founded Arohana EcoSocial Developments. With the rich experience that she has gathered, after leading Arohana for almost 7 years, she went on to found reCharkha. Her long-standing dream is to develop a sustainable village and live in it herself, where she wishes to fulfill through reCharkha and My EcoSocial Planet. This is very inspiring to know that you want to develop a sustainable village for yourself. I mean, that's not something I generally hear about people. So a little about reCharkha. So reCharkha EcoSocial is a social enterprise founded on the belief that development can be sustainable only if it's bottom up. So this means that sustainable development is possible only when it begins at the grassroots level and involves an empathetic understanding of the other biotic and abiotic communities. This present focus is resolving the issue of waste management, especially that of non-biodegradable. The most common being plastic waste. So through reCharkha, she is employing tribal women and youth using charkhas and handlooms to weave beautiful plastic products like tote bags, hanging closets, pillow covers, table mats, etc. A very warm welcome to Sustain and Save today, Amita ma'am.
Yeah, hi. I hope the noise on the road is not too loud.
No, ma'am.
Us are now used to working from home and logging in from wherever we are. But yes, I would have loved to meet all of you in person. It would have been a very, very great, opportunity. But thanks, Shloka, thanks, Pranati, and also thanks, Karan, who's from IDOBRO, who introduced me to you guys. So really happy being here.
So a little about Sustain and Save. I'm pretty sure almost everyone knows what it is, but let me introduce. So Sustain and Save is a one-stop solution on sustainability created by the Indians for the world. We believe in creating corporate impact by bridging the gap and connecting green products and services with the companies in India and across the world. We believe, okay, Pratima is here. I think she is the best person to take over about Sustain and Save.
No, that's perfectly. Shloka, continue. I'll add an answer. You're done. Go on.
All right, ma'am. So the knowledge and resource inspiration that drives our company, that drives Sustain and Save, is the main 3 R's, that is re-innovate, redefine, and being responsible. So we aim to achieve affordable sustainability and circular economy. So this beautiful little organization was started on 22nd April this year, which is commonly known as the Earth Day, by the Shroff sisters, Pranati and Ankita Shroff, who are both entrepreneurs and completed their diploma from Swedish Institute in Responsible Leadership and Sustainable Business. So right now we are a team of 400 plus young change makers from all across India, and we have footprints in countries like Singapore, UK and US. In the last 6 months, we've collaborated with many companies and government organizations through various discussions, e-panels, and awareness programs, some of which include IKEA, the Swedish government, CII, IGBC, and onboarded about 50 plus companies in sustainability as our channel partners and 5 plus educational institutions. So what we've done in the last few months is that in July, we focused on green products and services. In August, we had ideators like Mr. Rajiv Kher for sanitation and Mr. Shubhendra Sharma who briefed us about urban forestry. September was dedicated to understanding the problems of water management in India, and our changemakers came up with very beautiful solutions to how to tackle this water management crisis that we are facing. In October, we teamed up with Roor and Tetra Pak for a design challenge where we were given Tetra Pak, the raw material, the used Tetra Pak, and we were supposed to upscale it products using our own ideas. So that is, I think, currently going on in its submission phase, and there will be soon a competition and results soon, I think, towards the end of the month. So this month, it is our topic is greener solutions on greener alternatives to plastic waste. So we are focusing on plastic segregation, and in the city of Pune, I hope you would have seen our Insta stories today that the whole team who was there in Pune was sitting and making eco bricks out of all the plastic waste that they've collected, and this was around 8 tons of plastic in the city of Pune alone. So we are also currently working on a sustainable technology app where they've calculated around 35,000 liters of water saved, 82 kgs of waste segregated at source, and 1722 kgs of CO2 emissions saved. So this is like a pat on the back for our team. And yeah, so this is about sustain and save. And thank you so much, ma'am, for having us here. So should we begin our Q&A round?
Yes. Did you introduce Amita, ma'am? I missed that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So maybe you can. I'm sure she's given you a brief. Thank you, Shloka, for this lovely introduction of Sustain and Save. And it's really great to have people and lovely change makers working for us, being associated with us for months together, doing their bit. And it's really it's a happy moment for us to be associated with these students and these youth of the future, and to see the passion that they have in the field of sustainability. They all want to become entrepreneurs in the field of sustainability, and what better than having Amita today to guide all of us and how she is doing with her whole initiative, her whole venture of reCharkha. So over to you, Shloka, for the questions.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Amita ma'am, our first question to you is, how did you get into waste management, and how did the idea of reCharkha come to you?
Okay. So like you introduced me, I was an IT engineer, but overall as a individual, I was always an anti-plastic person. So I used to keep giving lectures to people about, like, lectures as in-person lectures, not what I'm doing right now, but that don't use plastic and it's not good for our environment, as a kid also. So that was always a passion, and it grew on me over a period of time as I grew up, and as I started traveling. I started looking at waste lying around and nobody taking any care of it, and waste management was not considered such a big problem. And it kept on growing on me. And then when I was in the IT sector, I was working for some years in the IT in an IT industry in Pune. That's when I decided that I finally don't want to continue the corporate job but do something on my own. But what I didn't know, because I had been educated only in IT, of course I had all the other opportunities of directly setting up something. But as you know, I thought the best option at that time was to take up a master's degree, learn a little bit, take times off, understand what I wanted to do. So I took up a master's degree in the US and worked there for a few years after my master's degree. And that time I realized that I want to get into the CSR and sustainability sector. So that's how the jump happened into sustainability. And when I decided to come back to India, because that's what I always wanted to do, work here. So coming back to India, I worked for a few years, initial 2-3 years, for consulting. And through that consulting, I understood that there are two big problem areas which were not looked at as focused as it should have been at that time. This was in 2013-14. Those were waste management, importantly. And only waste management was, of course, not going to be treated as a problem, because it had to come with some social backing to it. And I realized that livelihoods in specifically tribal and rural areas, which are far flung, were not happening, because only agriculture supports livelihoods there. So the other second biggest livelihood generator for India has always been craft, and craft has been taking a back seat all the time. As industrial revolution progressed. So earlier handloom and charkha were very important for India, but later on they took a backseat. So then I realized that something related to craft, which is sustainable, which is not going to create more pollution, and and waste management. I wanted to marry these two things together. And while discovering various solutions, this was one of the best solutions that we found, and we decided to start it as a full-fledged conversation, a full-fledged work in this sector. And that's how Arohana was born. So Arohana was always a consulting company before, but then we moved into the craft sector and became a manufacturing company. And just recently, due to some other restructuring reasons, we had to close down Arohana and start reCharkha. So that's how we are right now.
That's amazing, ma'am. So we wanted to know how many tribal women you've employed in this process.
Sure. So right now we have two workshops. One is in the tribal village, where 12 people work with us full time, and they have been working with us for over 4 years now, and they've become experts in what they do. So they do lovely work. I'm going to show you some of their work in a bit. And other than those 12 people, there are more people who work with us on and off as we require for washing and such. And here in Pune, we again have a team of 7 employees, where we make products. So the stitching and designing and marketing, everything happens here in Pune. So we have a team of 21 people right now.
Wow, that's really great, ma'am. So when you have started, now that you've started this company, we have seen your website, there are a lot of products. So what would you say has been your most out of the box product that you have made or is being made right now? Most out of the box.
I feel all the products are unique, because every time, as in, I would say fabric is unique for us, and most out of the box idea is about the way we create our fabric. So I'm sure you're going to cover that later, but every time when we get fabric from our tribal village, and we have given them an open hand to try out whatever designs they want. So sometimes they use biscuit wrappers. So every time something or the other unique comes up. So
Wow.
I wouldn't say one specific product is of like my favorite product. I love all the products, and I have all of the products. I hoard my own products also.
That's great, ma'am. So why don't you talk us through this whole fabric making process now?
Sure. So the idea is, so this is our raw material.
Plastic
This is
waste.
a little plastic bag, which is supposed to be banned, but you still get these packets of different types. So this is like a bread packet, then a small little haldi ka packet, then wrappers, and wrappers which have silver foil-like material inside. So these are called MLP, which unfortunately are extremely difficult to recycle. And also your glittery gift wrap also we use, and that's where all the shine and the glitter in the pillow behind me comes from, even these transparent plastic bags. And very interestingly, we are also recycling these cassette tapes. So remember, I don't know, maybe all of you were really tiny kids that time when these cassette tapes were out.
Yeah,
and
I have those old
even we
dusty
were kids.
boxes still at home, but no one uses it.
Oh, then you can actually give us that. We keep getting donations of these, and then we read.
Ma'am, we can parcel it?
Yeah, of course you can send it to us.
I'll talk to my parents about that then.
Sure. It goes to a good cause, right? A lot of people have been donating us because of that. So what we do first, we collect this plastic waste from waste pickers. But just that it has to be collected separately, not mixed with wet waste or contaminated with some other kind of waste, because then it becomes unusable by us. So it's collected, it's again washed and sanitized, but before it comes to our team also, it should be cleaned, because I don't want my people to touch dirty waste. It is also
Yeah.
hazardous to their own health. So we request waste pickers to make sure everything's clean. We conduct awareness sessions to people to keep everything clean when they give out their plastic waste. After we wash and sanitize them, we dry them under the sunlight to further disinfect them. Then we sort them into different colors, so that designs and patterns can be made out of whatever is available, because we can't dye them or select specific colors. We can't do that. And after that, we use a traditional charkha, which is like a spindle. I am sure all of you must have seen it. And then use a hand loom. Hand loom is a traditional equipment on which fabric used to be made in the
Yeah.
past. So we use a hand loom to weave fabric. So as a result, and then after that, of course, we make products from it. We stitch it. So the fabric making happens in our village, and then the fabric is shipped to our Pune workshop, and we make some products from it. So for example, this is a little pouch that we have, and if you watch it closely, you'll actually see this blue and orange. Those are tied wrappers.
Wow.
So about 8 to 10 wrappers have gone into making a pouch like this. Then this is another bag, my favorite one. It's a Jhola tote, which I think even Pranati has really loved when she came to our office. So this again has used about 40 plastic bags. This is a little clutch that we have. We have laptop sleeves, laptop bags. So this is made from black plastic bags, the ones that you get at usually different stores, and the white plastic bags, which are plain white plastic bags. So these are all different items
I'm
that I
pretty
have.
sure all the girl change makers, women change makers are really excited about this because
Oh,
these are all really pretty.
we have a few things for men as well, like the laptop bag, definitely gym bags. We have yoga bags. We have, so we have some things for men also. Not everything's for women.
That's great, ma'am. They're really very beautiful. So, ma'am, our next question is, who would you say is your target audience? Is it like the teens who love going outside and have all these tote bags and clutches? Or is it because you have a lot of those hanging closets and all? I personally
Yeah,
like the planters. So, is it the
yeah.
housewives and all who buy these things for their houses? So, which is your target
Yeah.
audience?
See, I wouldn't say any specific target audience. I think everybody who wants to, we have something for everybody. So even if you are a school girl, we have things for you. If you are going to the college, we have something for you. If you are going to office, we have something for you. Even at home, everybody can plant trees. Everybody can use the planters. So we are not any specific audience. And I think our products are an alternative to what you get in the market. So if you're going to a regular bag store, you would end up buying a resin bag. Resin again is plastic. Again, it's non-degradable and made from virgin polymers. So instead, if you buy a laptop bag which is made from an upcycled material, it's always going to help.
Yeah,
So I would say we are not targeting anybody specific. We're actually creating alternatives for everyone to use.
that's great, ma'am. It's something for everyone.
It's something, it's just a little bit for everybody, I would say, from old people, old women, men, to younger generation, to even little kids. We had made baby diaper changing mats also
Wow.
once. So
So
I,
yeah, there
at
is
that
something
time,
for everyone.
exactly, everybody has something or the other from us. So it's interesting.
That's great,
Customize.
ma'am.
There are
So,
corporates who come to us with certain requirements, so we can customize as well. Thanks,
wow.
Anmol. Yes, you should get a laptop bag for yourself. Some of the laptop bags are on discount on our website also right now. So
Oh,
you
that's
can
great,
actually go
ma'am.
and check them out.
So, ma'am, in this whole process, what would you say were your biggest hurdles and biggest challenges? And how did you overcome those?
See, the first and foremost challenge is people, citizens. And again, we are not here, we have to keep telling people that we are not here to collect everybody's waste. We want people to understand that first, refusing, reducing, reusing their waste is more important, and then recycling comes. Because many a times the mentality has become that you just dump everything into the dustbin and your house is clean and you're done. And as a result, the challenge was that segregated waste wasn't coming to us. whatever waste we were getting was soiled and dirty, we needed dry waste. So it's going to be it was very difficult. But over a period of times, we did a lot of awareness generation amongst our customers, among people in general. So our Instagram handle is also very active. And through exhibitions, so we used to do a lot of exhibitions before. Through that, we generated awareness. Second challenge I also think is that some people, I'm sure none of you think that, but some people think that because this bag is made from waste, okay, they should get it for free or for cheap. People
No,
ask us some weird questions that if we can bring our waste to you, will you make something for us, and can we give you only the making charges? So I say everything is the making charge, because waste is really free, but making charges are the most important ones, and that is craft. Takes a lot of time. A bag like our Jhola bag takes about 1.5 labor days to make it. So, that is again an education. So I say people is the problem. And
yes,
especially
ma'am.
all the
Awareness is
educated
a
one.
major gap between
Yeah.
knowledge and execution. Huge gap.
All these educated people, and we had used to have stalls in all these IT companies, and people used to ask such weird questions, and I was like, was I there before? I can't even imagine now. How ignorant can people be?
That's true,
And
ma'am.
yeah,
That's
and
true.
everybody's just
Because
looking at their
dealing with
convenience.
plastic waste is also not that easy. It's not like it's very fresh. It's dirty, and so many people are using it. So some people have to be sensitive to that as well. That you're dealing with waste. It's
Correct.
not something that is very
Correct. Correct.
clean.
Correct. So through our NGO now, we've also formed an NGO called EcoSocial Planet, and we are trying to do a lot of work through that in making people aware as to how they can keep their waste separate and segregated in the first place at home only.
That's good,
So
ma'am.
that will
That
make
is
waste
required.
pickers' lives, yeah. Waste pickers' lives will be easier. Everybody's lives will be easier.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, we wanted to know a little about your previous venture, Arohana EcoSocial. What was it about? How was it started?
Sure, sure. It's actually the same. We've just continued it. Some of the team members got separated, but other than that, it's exactly the same work. There's no change at all.
All
The team
right.
of the tribals is still the same. Everybody's still the same. So there's just one or two, three people who have had to leave. Otherwise, everybody is the same, and the work is the same. Arohana was also like I gave the earlier introduction. It's the same. We started it because we wanted to work for environment and society together.
Ma'am, was it easy to shift from an IT background to an entrepreneurship venture?
Yes, definitely. So there definitely was an entrepreneur in me somewhere. That's why it was easier. I would feel for me. But still, when you want to take that jump from a very comfortable corporate career where you're getting money directly into your bank account, and I was working in the US, so of course I was getting a very good salary. And then from there, when I decided to come to India and not get paid at all, everybody in my family had a very big question mark on them, that why are you doing this? And something which nobody has ventured into before, because it was a very difficult task on the first hand to start something like this. It's a very unique project which is very different. Nobody has heard about it. There's no market for it. The people whom you're going to work with, the tribals, have never done this before, so they had to be taught everything from scratch. The waste pickers were to be taught to keep plastic waste aside for us, so it was a huge learning curve. But now it feels nice to see
That's
that there
great,
are
ma'am.
so many people interested. We keep getting emails every day about people who want to come and work with us, so it's very nice.
So, ma'am, like you, once upon a time, right now, there are many engineers, many architects, many management students, and I'm pretty sure some of them, some percentage of them would be wanting to go into the field of entrepreneurship. So, what is your advice for such students?
Yeah, I definitely think so. See, there are different ways to look at it. If you have responsibilities that you need to fulfill and you need to have a, a job of that sort, you can definitely continue and still be associated with organizations and volunteer, right? So that is a personal choice. But entrepreneurship in itself, or I wouldn't say just entrepreneurship, taking a jump into the social sector, even as an employee or as a, as a volunteer, it's in itself is such a satisfying thing to do that I feel everybody must do it, either full time, part time, as a volunteer, whatever it is. It gives us such a satisfying feeling at the end of the day that you will not get when you are doing a corporate job. Because that question
That's
I
true.
always used to feel whenever I used to come home from a job. I used to love my job. My team are still in touch with me, and a lot of my bosses that time are still my mentors. I used to love that job, but at the end of the day, I used to always feel that something's missing. I want to do something else. And spending majority of the time of the day you are spending at your workplace, so I always felt that I want to do that full time. All this, like what I'm doing, I wanted to do it full time. So it's
That's
interesting. I think everybody should do something, either volunteering or full time work. Definitely. And we have, all of us have opportunities. We also have opportunities at reCharkha if anybody wants to apply. And just that, and make sure that, there's always a gap, like at least in our case, there's a gap between how much you would get paid in a typical big IT company or a big company versus working with a small enterprise. But the what you get in return is much more fulfilling.
that's true.
So I definitely would invite people to come work with us or any other social enterprise.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now we have a rapid fire round where you have to answer the first thing that comes to your mind to the question that I ask you.
Before
Okay.
before this, I'll just interrupt. Sorry, the rapid fire is the most fun part of the entire thought, because you'll end up speaking the truth because you.
Ah.
But before that, I just like to say a few things that for the plastic movement, for all those who joined in today and aren't aware, for the plastic movement, we've been fortunate enough to collaborate with reCharkha, and the gifts that are going to be given for those who collect maximum plastic and segregate plastic are bought from reCharkha. So people are saying, how can we get it? So here's an opportunity for you to win that by segregating it and having it sent to reCharkha for recycling, or to us, and we can have it sent to them, either or ways. So that's one opportunity of winning a prize to be able to get what reCharkha is actually into. And yes, they're doing great work in terms of the way they are working around it and the whole thing. So I would also like to thank the Sweden alumni and the Sustain and Save and a lot of Pune Municipal Corporation, Swatch, all of the organizations who have been involved in trying to do something like this, and the entire Plastic Month at Sustain and Save and the Swedish Alumni Network of Maharashtra and Goa is really happy to do this with all of you all together. And we're also looking forward to few further collaborations where we can actually help you in many ways. Do let us know, Amita, as to how we can actually keep giving you plastic, because it's just
Sure.
the beginning. Like, this is not
Right.
a one-time initiative, but it's something that must continue forever, and we should keep doing it forever. And just a quick question before, since you said that you've been doing this for a while, and just for our youth to understand, so do you make money out of this?
Of course, we do make money out of this. So the first couple of years were difficult because we had to do a lot of work, unpaid work. So
Yeah.
that was difficult. But now, since year 3, I think it's much better. But of course, you have to let go some of your profits for the satisfaction. So definitely, I wouldn't say that I'm earning exactly or more than what I used to get before I was working in the earlier consulting jobs or IT jobs.
That's
But
perfectly
yeah,
fine.
I think it's possible. As in, we are still in our year 5,
Yeah,
so we'll slowly
that's
start
just
getting profitable.
yeah.
We
And
will
also,
definitely.
don't you think there is scope for mass manufacturing versus, so you're doing the charkha way right now, which is, so it limits the way you do things and the quantity you can manufacture,
Yeah.
versus production. So have you looked at that thought process also while you were doing your work?
You see, in our case, it is more of a craft. So we are not looking for mass manufacturing at all, because in mass manufacturing, you have to replace labor with manufacturing. That's the ideology behind industrial revolution and mass manufacturing. So yes, there are mass manufacturers, there are recyclers. So in recyclers, definitely will take plastic bags like this if it comes to them. Of course, if it's going to go flying away around the city, it's not going to go to them. But yes, they can recycle a little thicker than this. So this is a very thin plastic bag, but more thicker plastic bags like this, they could get recycled. But I personally didn't want to get into recycling. I would rather do something more. I feel it's more meaningful, as in, pardon me if there's any recycler over here, but I feel this is more meaningful because I'm getting to create some jobs as well. Of course, recyclers also can create jobs, but in this case, what I want to do is to create craft.
Yeah.
Craft, where more and more people can get associated with this. So the prices, the costs are not going to come down. The costs are not going to come down. Let me assure that, because I want people to get the money. If somebody is working super hard for it, and if an IT person sitting in a nice AC office like I used to get, din ka aram se 2,000-3,000 rupees, why can't a tribal who's working so hard get at least 500 for the day? Right. So I feel that is important, that we go towards a more, leveled society where there's not too much of difference. And, being rich doesn't necessarily mean that you come to a city and buy a big apartment and buy a nice car and go
or
get stuck in a traffic jam.
Products.
That's so true, so true.
You can still be rich and live in a village and live beautiful surrounding, which is your own home. So that is what I'm trying to inculcate in our tribals. So there were a few of those who had decided to move to the city. One of them came back from the city to work with us. So there have been nice stories of change.
Great. So I think that's a great thought process, because the youth would definitely want to know this. If you could put in your website link here later, so people who don't.
Yes, totally. I would love to do that.
Check it out. And Shloka, over to you for the rapid fire again.
Ma'am, I had one more question before that. So it just keeps coming, ma'am. It keeps coming randomly, so I have to ask. Ma'am, when you talk about tribal, so which cities and which states are you talking about?
So it's a village, it's not in a city. So there's a union territory in India called Dadra and Nagar Haveli. I'm saying that because people don't know that we also have union territories. So in that village where we are working, it's a very remote tribal village, we're working there. And in Pune, we have our head office. And so people who are from Pune can definitely come and visit us. But eventually we want to go to other places, but it will take a little bit of time because our team is very small.
Yeah.
If we get more people who join us and help us take it to the next level, I think it'll be interesting to even take it to the next level and take it to other cities and other places.
Hopefully that'll happen soon.
Definitely.
Okay, ma'am. So now to the very energetic rapid fire round. So the first question is 3 book suggestions from your side that should be the must reads for this generation right now.
Totally. So let me tell you, it's a rapid fire round, right? So one book is, what's the name? Of Rashmi Bansal. I Have a Dream. I Have a Dream. So I love that book. That I love is Sadhguru's, many of his books. But yeah, one of his autobiographies, I think, is the best. And the third is, which I'm reading recently, is My Experiments in Bihar by a very, very dear, she's a doctor, she's a gynecologist. So she is Taru Jindal is her name. And that's a very good book. I think all of us should read these 3 books.
My Experiments in Bihar.
My Experiments in Bihar by Taru Jindal.
Great.
And I have a dream by Rashmi Bansal. And we're going to have a live with her next weekend. And I'm very excited about it.
That's great, ma'am. Who has been your inspiration or role model all through your entrepreneurship stint?
One, my dad, because he himself was an entrepreneur, though not a social entrepreneur, but definitely him. And some of the people in the book I have adopted, one of them being this, so many of them. I don't want to name a particular one. Yeah. But yes, my dad.
Okay, ma'am. So one word for sustainability.
Triple bottom
How
line.
would you describe sustainability in one word?
In 3 words. Triple bottom line.
Okay, no, ma'am. Why would you say that triple bottom line?
Because it's environmental, social, and
Hello.
economic. It has to be all 3. It can't be just one.
Right, ma'am. And last question, the most recent upcycled product that reCharkha is working on. The most recent, like right now.
Right now. Oh, we're making a shoe bag.
Wow, that's nice. That's great, ma'am. So this is the end for a rapid fire round. And I hope someone in the audience would have any questions. Please write them in the chat box so that we can take them up and ma'am can answer them.
So I don't know if there are any questions coming up.
Where Anmol is asking, from where can we get all these products?
Oh yeah, so the website I've given here, reCharkha.org, you can directly go online and buy. And or if you are based in Pune, you can come down to our Pune office and shop on your own here. Yes, we can do some summer camps. We are also planning to set up another of our weaving centers, the waste to craft centers near Pune. So we definitely want to do more camps there, and we can do internships. Right now, from Monday, we have 3 interns from NIFT who are joining.
Wow.
Yeah. What challenges did you face finding the niche? Like I said, I think market development was also a big challenge because this is a product people haven't seen before. So we have to educate people as to what is upcycling. Upcycling was a term we started using way back when not many people were using it. So we had to make people understand what upcycling is. I think that was one of the biggest challenge, to make people understand what this is, alternative.
So there's one person saying that this is a perfect gifting solution, and yes, there's no better word for this, your products.
Totally.
Gifting, really good idea, because I personally have a lot of problem, when it comes to gifting. Even my sister, I think this would be a good birthday gift for her. It's coming up soon, so.
Totally. Actually, we do get a lot of, right now, the Diwali was so nice for us.
Right, yeah, festival
we got
time.
A lot of people came to buy gifts from us.
Any other question, audience?
No, we can't. It will not be very breathable. And we would avoid doing that because it's not a sustainable use of the plastic waste that we with the fabric that we make.
Masks have been made into bricks, right? I've heard about Mr. Binish Desai, who is working on making making masks into bricks. Mr. Binish Desai has been working on making these masks, this biomedical waste to bricks. So
it is. But again, the whole thing goes back to the whole idea of not using these kind of products in the first place. We should understand that something that's going to be disposed away, because you mentioned, right, and your Sustain and Save initiative also talks about the the closed loop, and talking about the
circular economy.
Yeah. circular economy. So it makes sense for you to not use disposable masks, disposable bags, disposable packaging. Definitely not. Do you craft the cassette
So,
tapes? Oh yeah, we weave it. So like I explained our process of using a charkha and hand loom. We're weaving plastic waste, including cassette tapes, together. What is the life of these products? So life can be forever because plastic seriously is
Forever.
on the planet forever. Yeah.
doesn't disintegrate, it doesn't degenerate so
It
fast, so you
doesn't,
can use it for a long time.
unfortunately. That's the problem. But of course, that's a good question. So we are trying to make the product so that it lasts for many years. So right now we 5 years and we have products made from our waste plastic which have been 5 years long. So definitely, I would say easily 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And you can then give it back to us so that we can upcycle it further, because what typically happens is so for example, this clutch is a little old, so even if it tears a little bit from here, it is stone, so we mend it and give it back to you. So we believe in repairing and we do free repairing for you, so we can repair it and give it back to you. If something happens to the fabric, then we unfortunately we'll have to remove all the plastic from it, and then we can weave it again, because nothing happens to the plastic inside the fabric, that remains the same, so we can use it again.
Yeah. I
Yes,
think
our products can be delivered pan India and around the world as well, so we ship all around the world.
Oh, this is a good question. If plastic gets banned, then what?
Yeah, I always say this, I'll be the happiest if plastic is banned and plastic gets over from this planet. We can do a lot of other things with the people who are employed by us. So I'll be one of the happiest people if plastic disappears. I'm not here to keep plastic going. I'm the one who's actually supporting the bans and supporting refuse.
Ma'am, did you get sufficient raw material in the beginning? Because as you said, many people dispose it in the
Yeah,
dustbins. So
yeah. So we did not initially. It was very difficult because even the waste pickers whom we worked with, even basic segregation wasn't happening at that time. This was 5, 6 years ago. So that time even wet waste was not being kept separate, and as a result, all the plastic that used to come was soiled. So it was very difficult for us to collect good plastic waste. So that's when the whole, awareness generation drive began. So we are an active part of that awareness generation. Can you suggest some
that's great, ma'am.
DIYs?
So there's one person
Yeah,
asking
we do some
DIYs.
different things. With carry bags, definitely, I don't think there's a lot of DIYs, but you can reuse it. Just reuse it. When you're converting it into craft, that craft also should for a long time. So remember that. Don't keep it. Don't make craft for the heck of it, because you might end up creating more waste while you're creating craft from it. So make something which is going to be, that's why even we do only one process. We don't do various different kinds of things. We're going to start experimenting though. So buying from our site, okay, this is a weird question. That can you suggest something easy which can be done by us too, other than buying it from your site? See, we are not selling alternatives to plastic, or we are not going to take care of your plastic waste. We are generally upcycling plastic, and we are making things which you will anyways go and buy from the market. So if you're looking, for example, this Jola doll, okay, it's a gorgeous looking bag. If you would go to a market, you would go to a I always say we are competing with Louis Vuitton. If you go and buy a Louis Vuitton bag, you would end up spending thousands of rupees on one bag, and it will be made of polymer, right? Or something else, and of a virgin material. So instead, if you buy an alternative to plastic, which could be our product, or it could be cotton, it could be jute, or something else, that's the best alternative, I would say.
I think there are loads of questions that are flooding in now, but we come to the end, and I think they can always connect with you over email or through the website, and get in touch
Yeah,
with you for more details.
yeah.
It was a great session, and we had almost 70, 75 only on Zoom, and a lot of
Wow.
them watching on YouTube also. So that was great. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for being such a lovely audience. And
So-
thank you, Amita. Yes.
Thanks. No, I was gonna ask that I think video of 1 minute which I can play for people who don't know what we do and how we do it. So should I play that to end the conversation?
That should be good. If you
It's
can.
just a 1 minute video.
Sure,
Yes,
ma'am.
that'll be good.
1 second. So for people who don't know what we do, I think that will be good because some of the questions made me feel that people don't know. Oh, I can't share my screen.
Oh,
Can you make me the co-host?
Kailash, can you give her access?
All right, perfect. So it's just a 1 minute video, which I'm going to show you. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it is background music. Even if the music doesn't go on, it's fine. It's just a music. So you just can watch and read the subtitles.
Yes.
That's it.
Ma'am, this is really beautiful. Very nice video.
Thank you.
That showed actually it's not a very easy thing that you're doing. You know that people have to expect it should be for free, of course.
Yeah. So
Thank you
yes,
so much for joining us today. Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone.
thank you. Appreciate your time. Thanks for the
Thank you all.
opportunity. Bye bye. Yeah. How can I do that to make you the host again?
End meeting. Yeah.
I don't know how to make you a host again.
And besides Sprout Greens, there is an arrow
There,
in participants list.
next to the participants.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. More. There's option called more.
Yeah. So it says stop recording. It says stop live stream.
And there will be make host, something like that. Third or fourth option.
Wait, let me just check. So funny. Oh God. Wait.